Hello wonderful people, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Kate and I'm a professional makeup artist based in England. So you guys would not believe the amount of comments I've had on various different videos asking for a tutorial of this makeup, but you gotta give the people what they want. So if you want to see how I created this eye look, please keep watching. Going to start by getting these front bits out the way. For anyone that is new here, I would describe my signature style of makeup as grungy but glam. So having those darker, messy, grungier elements but in a more polished and refined way. I'm just going to start with a MAC 24-hour eye base. This is a new product for me. It is very well loved by one of my good friends, Miss Melanie Elizabeth. If you're wondering, please go check her out. She is an incredible makeup artist in LA. And then also one of my favourite makeup artists, Miss Megan. I'm sure you guys know who she is. And if you don't, again, go check her out. But they both rave about this. I've been told that you don't need a lot of this product, so I'm just putting a little bit on, blending it out with my finger. I don't have anything else on my lids at the moment. I never put foundation and concealer on my lids when I'm applying my base, so yeah. I'm trying not to stab myself in the eye with these long nails. Actually just going to bring a little bit of that underneath as well, just onto the lower lash line. Just so we've definitely got some product for the eyeshadows to grip onto. Perfect. For this look, I used one of my all-time favourite eyeshadow palettes, which is the Vive Ninetease palette. It is the most gorgeous, like grungy 90s. It's in the name. So we're going to start off with Low Rise, which is a really nice warm toned grey. I'm just taking this on a What's Up Beauty R102. So it is a fluffy brush, but it's a little bit smaller. So it's perfect for getting into my inner corner. So I'm just going to start by packing this shade on, just stamping it right into the corner. Also stamping that onto the outer corner of my eye as well. I'm not bringing any product into the middle at all because I want to do a really nice halo eye. So focusing the product in the inner and outer corner is all that you need to do. Also, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit messy because that's the whole sort of vibe. So the messier the better, in my opinion. Without adding any more product, whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to use to kind of diffuse the edges. You can also use your finger to kind of tap out the excess. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the lower lash line. So again, back in with the shade Low Rise on a smaller brush this time because obviously the area is a little bit smaller. This is a Peaches and Cream PC38. It's like a dense pencil brush, so it's really good for packing on colour. So I'm just going to do the exact same right into the inner corner, just stamp it in, and then into the lower lash line as well. And I'm again leaving another gap because I want to keep the centre free of product. And then just going back in with the first brush that I use and starting to really bring that colour right into the socket line so you can see how I'm defining this area here. And I feel like it just makes the eyes look a little more sunken in, which is a vibe that I really like. So I know it's not for everyone, but it is for me and I shall do it. It just gives you a really nice amount of definition. And then just using that same brush just to blend out these edges down here. I'm a very big fan of a lower lash line under eye situation, so I always bring the shadow down quite far. And another reason that I do this as well is because most of my creasing is actually here, so if you whack a load of eyeshadow over the top, you're not going to see the creasing as much. So I'm happy with how that's looking. I'm going to go in with the shade Soot. I say Soot, I feel like some people say Soot, depending on where you're from, but I say Soot. So it is like this charcoal sort of grey. It's not quite black, so it will be a little bit softer. So I'm taking the same brush that I used underneath. I don't want to use a million brushes. I will use the same two brushes to do my whole eyeshadow. So again, I'm just going to stamp on the product, but this time we're just not going to blend it out as high because you want to see the gradient between the darker and the lighter shade. Just stamping it in that inner corner and outer corner. Not bringing it as high, just really focusing the product there. Switching back to that first brush that I used and then just using this to soften those edges again. It is always a lot of back and forth with doing eyeshadow. You add some, you blend it away, you add some more, you blend it away. I feel like when you watch makeup tutorials, that's one thing that you don't always see. You never see the blending in real time. Like, it's like a quick little snippet of, but really we're out here blending for like 15 minutes. So Please don't feel discouraged if your eyeshadow is not blending like that quickly, because it takes time. So now I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. This is Peaches and Cream PC10. We're going to go in with the shade Phase, which is like a nice transition-y taupey shade. I'm just going to use this to, again, blend out the edges, work this kind of into the rest of my makeup. I'm just going to start building this up in the crease and the socket line. I'm not adding a lot of product though. I just add like the tiniest amount at a time. If in doubt, just keep blending. Keep blending, keep blending. Like how Dory says, just keep swimming. Kate says, just keep blending. And now taking a little bit more of Phase, what I want to do is start blending this right into the inner corner again, right into this inner part of my socket line, and then almost like bring it down into my nose contour, just so everything sort of like ties in together. I like having quite a cohesive look. Again, just using the same brush and just dragging that all underneath. If you do ever feel like you've gone too far with your eyeshadow, or it's too heavy in a certain place and you want it to be more blended out, just take a clean brush, no product on it, and use it to just soften everything. If you feel like it's still not blending out enough, even when you're using a clean brush, what you can do is take a face powder. So I recommend a pressed powder. I'm going to use this one from Melt. It is the Glazed Skin Powder in Light. So it has a little bit of luminosity to it, but I always really love this for blending out any edges, because it does have a slight colour to it. It's just going to help tone the edges down and blend them into the skin. I also use this if I feel like I've gone a bit too heavy with my blush or my bronzer. This just kind of softens everything. So I really, really like this product. It's also beautiful if you have dry skin and you find powders make your skin look just like dry and crusty. I feel like this is one of those looks that you have so much room to kind of play around with the intensity. I don't always like the using soft grunge or soft goth or whatever. I feel like there's not any other way to describe it. This is like a soft grungy, like wearable day-to-day makeup. So you've got that sort of grungy halo eye that's a little bit messy, but it's all very neutral, it's all very matte. So it's almost like my daytime grungy halo eye, if that makes sense. We're just gonna go in with Skimp, pop this in the center. This is, I'm pretty sure this is a concealer brush that probably has concealer on it, but it's fine. I'm gonna bring some of that shade underneath as well. Finally, time for some liner. So I love this liner. This is the Melt Slick Waterline Pencil in Black Onyx. Was that the right way around? I always show things upside down to the camera. I love these pencils because they are so creamy and they blend out so easily. Like, they're perfect as a base for a smoky eye, and they're perfect in the waterline as well. Mainly for now, just focus it again like in the outer corner and inner corner, not bringing it too high. We're just adding a little bit more depth. Very, very lightly run it into the lash line. Now I'm going to take this teeny tiny brush. This is from Melt. It is the Round Detailed Mini 26. Perfect for blending and smoking out liner, but when you still want to be really precise. So I'm just going to take this and just start smudging that liner. Sometimes what I like to do as well is actually just take some off the pencil directly and then use that to start smudging and smoking and doing all the good stuff. Not smoking, smudging and smoking the eyeshadow. And I'm taking the pencil again and just adding some into my waterline, some of that on the Melt brush, and just smudging it all in. I really like to wiggle it into the lower lash line because sometimes you have little gaps where the root of your lashes are, which kind of like ruins the illusion. So I really like to poke myself in the eye. Back into Circe, which was that dark charcoal grey shade. Back on the same Peaches brush, and just going over the top of where we put the black liner, just so everything's like really blended and diffused. Just another fluffy brush and blending everything out. I feel like it's so funny to me because I was watching my last YouTube video that I posted back. I just felt like I seemed a little bit too formal and a bit too rigid. So now I'm just like, just relax and talk to you as if I was talking to a friend, or how I talk when I'm on like Instagram stories. And do you know what? I feel so much better. So there's always motorbikes going down my road. But yeah, I feel so much better. So I'm gonna go in with my Jolie Beauty Infinity Liner pen and line very, very close at the top of my lashes. I just need to be more precise than I was with a pencil. Japanese lash curlers. I'm just going to give my lashes a good curl so I get as close as I can to the root and just kind of like pump it, just keep pressing until I have the kind of lift that I want. My favourite mascara ever, Benefit Bad Gal Bang is my holy grail ride or die mascara. Like, I love it. I've used it for years. I will continue to use it. So what I do when I apply mascara is I start by wiggling it right into the root of the lashes and then kind of just like pull out after that. So wiggle at the root and kind of just like pull. And I love a chunky bottom lash as well. So I am going to put mascara all the way across because I just feel weird if I don't have anything in the middle. But again, wiggling into the root, pulling down, and then I take the tip of the mascara and kind of just like run it across to make them look more spiky. Going in with a second coat to give me the longest, most spider leg lashes ever. I did get some mascara on my lid, so now that it's dried, I'm gonna take the end of this brush with a spoolie and just kind of like flick it off. So if that ever happens, just make sure you wait for it to dry so it doesn't smudge. If you need to, you can just go back in with whatever shade you used on the lid and just kind of go back over again. I feel like while we're here, we may as well do a lip combo. I shit you not, I've literally been looking for this pencil for 10 minutes, but how can I be surprised when this is the size of it? This little nub is the Urban Decay Liar lip pencil. I've had this for some time, as you can probably guess. So it's almost impossible to use. I'm gonna pop the lid back on so I've got at least a little bit more to hold on to. Just because I've got some pink going on in the cheeks, I wanted to bring that into the lip as well. So I go right underneath in the center, and then I stick to my lip line in the corners, because I think if you overdraw the whole of your lips, obviously it's on preference, but I think it can look kind of crazy and I don't want it to look like I've got a massive mouth. And the same on the top. A bit more volume up here and stick to the lip line here. Pencil all over the lip. MAC stone for definition, as Miss Megan would say. Kind of think of this as almost contouring your lips. So you've got your base shade on and then a cool tone liner to add more depth and definition. I'm taking two of the Bailey Sarian lipsticks from the recent Melt collection. I'm going to start with Circe because it has more of that kind of pinky tone to it. Just apply this right in the centre and blend it out with my finger. And to lighten and neutralise it slightly, I'm going to go in with Judith. You can see how it's just slightly lightened and again created more depth and dimension. I know I say depth and dimension so much because apparently I have no other descriptive terms, but I just think it makes makeup look visually very interesting. Even if you break it down, there's not that much going on, but to look at, there's quite a lot going on. So yeah. So yeah, this is the look all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As I mentioned, I think this makeup is perfect because it's so versatile and you can adapt it in any which way you want, whatever you're feeling that day or whatever the vibe is. As always, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button so you know when I've posted. And I'll see you guys in the next one.